Hi folks, let's have a look on what I have stitched this week. I have a really good progress on my full coverage designs and I'm continuing preparing for coming holidays. Every week I stitch small Christmas motifs to have some small handmade gifts for my friends. But before I start with stitching progress, I would like to discuss some questions that I have been asked in comments. I really appreciate your time and really happy to chat with you in comments, but it feels like some questions might be interesting to discuss in more detail and show what I mean. And if you have any questions or topics that you feel like it would be interesting to discuss, I will be really happy to see them in comments below this video, or you can always send me a message in Instagram. I will leave all the links below this video in pinned message. The first question I will talk about is a back pain. I have been asked if I have it and what I do about it. Actually, during summer my back felt pretty much good. Usually I spend lots of time in my garden, and in addition to it, I swim as much as I can in an ocean. Water is not warm at all, but I still have a couple months to swim, which helps a lot in terms of healthy back. But it is good when it's summer. Now it's gone and with all my wish I would not be able to swim there now. And as soon as I started to spend more time inside, I sit more, stitch more, which is great. I absolutely love stitching. Love seeing the beauty I make with my hands, but my back does not agree with me. So a couple months back I had a back pain, so I added some steps to my routine to make it better. What I do now? I make morning exercises every day, stretching every hour or two, go for a massage every second week, do massage on my back with massage device 2-3 times per week, go for a walk every day. If it's heavy rain outside or wind so strong that I don't need an umbrella to fly away, I still walk on my treadmill. I do exercises on my back 3 times per week. I know, this one is the most important one and the most helpful actually. And I still consistently fail it. Every Monday I promise myself to do it every day, and every Tuesday I feel that every second day should be good enough. So I feel I'm on the right way, but still have to develop a habit of doing it consistently to have consistent results. Sometimes I even think about call it a challenge, but not sure if it would work for me at all. You know, all these challenges are so annoying. Now let's discuss another interesting topic. A couple times in a glance I showed my finished projects on the walls, and people keep asking me how I put them on my walls and why I don't frame them. It is an interesting story. All my projects were in frames about 10 years back. I stitched for more than 20 years and had some finished projects over that time. And probably I would keep them this way until now, but we had about 5 relocations over that time. So I removed all the frames and put my projects in a backpack. When we move, I prefer to keep the most important things with me. If I keep it close, there's no risk to lose it. 3 years back, when we bought a house, the first several months I did not have any pictures on my walls. And you know, this house was so strange and cold, and it was felt like somebody else but not mine. So I took all my projects from a drawer and put them on the walls as is, and it was a game changer. House has got its own soul, and now I feel like with all the frames it would be more like a museum. But this way it is more like a country house. Warm and cozy. And to add to this topic, I would tell another story. There was an accident 2 years back that gave me a feeling that I still don't want to frame my embroideries. We had a wildfire in the area. It destroyed lots of houses that time, and it started about 30 kilometers from our house, so we had some time to get ready and grab some of some of our belongings, whatever our car was able to hold. I put all of my projects in a bag, took my VIPs, and was so happy that they are not framed. The car was almost full, even without an extra wood in it. Interesting, I forgot one project that was in my daughter's room. I stitched it when she was just born. She slept beside and I stitched it. It has my memories of that time. And all 2 weeks that we lived away from our house, I didn't know if we still have our house or it was burned out. I have thought that if I stitch this particular project again, it will not be the same memories. It would be everything else, but not the memories of my just born baby. So everything what I have on my walls are mostly like memories and feelings of the great time I had with them, but not just a picture. Anyway, we were lucky to have our house back with no damage. The fire stopped 5 kilometers away from it. But now I feel that the things that the most important to me should be easy to grab and go. Most probably these masterpieces that I stitch these days, Castle in the Sky, Scholar, Hobbiton, Chinese Dragon, I will frame when I finish them. Because masterpieces should have frames to have it completed and even more stunning. But still, most of my projects I will remain unframed. It is so cozy and calming. Anyway, I talked too much and did not show yet how it looks like in the reality. It is a tiger. I have finished it a couple years back. It was a kit from AliExpress. And it's the biggest finished project I have in terms of the size. What I do with all of them? I fold the fabric to have 1-2 centimeters border and pin the fabric to the wall, trying to keep it straight. Let's have a quick look on what else I have on these walls. There is a little fox. One day it should be a wild animals wall. I have a cute oil halfway done and a wolf for this part of the house. Here I have a house in the forest. I really like it. This embroidery feels like a window. For some reason it has 3D effect. This one is a ship in a hidden bay. It was one of my first designs that I made by myself. It is relatively easy with no blends, very small, but surprisingly very detailed and high quality. Looks amazing. One of my favorites. And the house. It was a beads project. Beads appeared to be not my type of stitching. Threads, usually cotton ones, are the most enjoyable and relaxing for me. Good, it was not too big, so I was able to finish it relatively fast. Now we have looked on some finished projects on my wall, so let me show what a great new design I have in our shop. It is a diamond snake, symbol of the coming year. Actually, we try our best to add the several patterns every week. They are all Pattern Keeper compatible and cross-stitch saga compatible. Any of our patterns can be stitched from Android, Apple devices or printed on a paper. But when I saw this one, I felt I definitely need to show it to you. You know, most of the time when I change projects, I'm looking for new thread colors. But in this great design, they are so bright and different, just in one project. Unbelievable. All this sea wave blue is my weakness. It feels like with all this shine around, the coming year should be very light. Anyway, what do you think about this design? In my opinion, it is a wonderful symbol for the coming year. Okay, let's now check what I have to say about my current VIPs. Today I will start from a little girl. This project I stitched on 18th count for 3 years already. It is 60% done. What I like the most about this project, that it reminds me that true real magic exists in this world. We just don't see it if we rush or stuck in our problems. What we just need is to stop for a second and look around. It might be just a colorful ray of the light on a wall. And we don't have to be this little as this girl to see it. But for me, I need to stitch it from time to time to remind myself to stop for a second and to notice more than I usually do. And I don't want to rush this project. Otherwise, what would remind me about the magic if I finish it? You know, on the walls, it is so different. Tell me if it's only about myself, but projects on the walls I notice much less than those ones that I have on canvas right now. They are done. They are not so exciting to notice every single piece appearing with my flosses. This week I stitched a little bit of the column over there. After I stitched a couple stitches, I decided to check if it would be better to switch and stitch from the right to the left. You know, I thought that probably it would be a good idea if I touch less with my hands stitched area. But I quickly realized that it's not the most effective way for me. If I don't turn upside down the frame, I will have inside borders on the connected areas, which I don't like at all. But there is too many stitches in the same color, so it would be too difficult to avoid straight lines and still stitch with maximum comfort. So for now I will finish the row, and after that I might rotate the frame to stitch it from the top to the bottom, so for hands it is much more comfortable. And after that I stitched a little bit of this head, and the shade on the column is already done. And now let's have a look on a small project that I stitched this week. It was a Christmas lodge, and what I liked the most about this project that it gives sense of coming holidays, which gives some bright to every day, especially when it's raining outside. And actually I just have noticed that I forgot one dot to stitch, so I have to take it and add this one small dot. Yeah, sometimes it happens to me that when I have a look, when I stitch and just look at it, I don't see any problems. But when I do the same, when I show it on camera, I notice small mistakes, or sometimes I notice that I stitched something. Yeah, it happens from time to time to me that I can stitch something like this one and be in my own thoughts and dreaming and meditate and don't notice at all what I have on canvas. But when I make a video, in such case I can say, oh, I have a Christmas tree already done. So right now I have a Christmas house already done. Lots of gifts, beautiful Christmas tree, bright lights, and this loft was very tricky to finish. I stitched it in columns, and I saw that it will never end. But believe it or not, but it's finished and it's already almost ready to go. I just need to add this one small dot, and it will be ready to be as a Christmas decoration or a small Christmas gift. I believe it's some kind of perfect gift. Just it has your own energy. You did it with your own hands, and it didn't take too much time. For me it was probably 2 days to finish, and I didn't stitch only this project at all. So really nice as an addition to a Christmas gift, or just, as I said, as a decoration for a Christmas tree. It's not very big. I stitched it on 25th Lugana. So if you choose something smaller, in such case it will be a little bit smaller, and you can put it on a Christmas tree for sure. And how I made it this decoration? Actually, I took extra floss for the same color, twisted it, sewed it, and it's exactly the same color which I really like the most. Just for me it would be very difficult to find a rope that would match exactly, but in such case I really like it. And I added a little button here, and it added a little more beauty to this design. Don't you feel so? Oh, it's done. And now let's have a look what I'm going to stitch today. This one is Scholar in the Library. Design for this piece of art, but from another designer, can be found in our shop. Right here I'm usually stitch 3000 cross stitches at a time. I stitch this project on 16th count DMC thread, and now I'm almost done with this area. It's just like 3 colors left and I will be done. So let me take it to stitch and I will show how it looks like. Oh folks, congratulate me, I am done with this area. It took time to finish it. I did not expect that it would take so much time to come back to this project and actually finish the last 3 colors over there. Every time I make so great stitching plans to stitch everything, and every time I find that I overestimated my abilities. And what is more interesting, when I plan something, I tend to procrastinate on it as much as possible. That's so weird. I don't understand it at all. How it is possible to procrastinate on your hobby? Probably when I have stitching plans, it slowly moves from hobby to something that I have to do. And that is good reason to start procrastinating. Yeah, maybe I need to plan less and just stitch what I want so at the moment. Anyway, I finished this area, and I might take a break from this project for a week to have some rest from it. I noticed it several times that if I stitch only cross stitches, I really want to switch to 10 stitch. Changing fabric types, stitching types and colors is crucial for me to stay motivated. With the picture change, it feels like I travel from one place to another. From room to mountains, from seaside to a river, from snow winter to a summer night. Feels like we invented a teleport, don't you think so? Here on this project I almost done with the jacket. It has lots of color in it, and hopefully in the next column on the wall it will be super fast and easy, and probably boring. From one hand, too many colors is slow to stitch, but when it's just one color to stitch, there and back like zinger, for me it is even worse. So we might see this project again in a couple weeks, and I will tell you what is more challenging, stitch a jacket or a wall. Now let's have a look on another project. It is a Japanese garden. I bought it many years ago from AliExpress. I stitched it on 11th counts Aida, and it is stamped canvas and silk floss. And stitching with silk floss is a challenge. Probably that's why I have only 50% done over all these years I have it. It took me 8 years to get used to it and find some tips for easier work with silk floss. For now I stitch it every morning and really like this approach. I don't have enough time to get tired of it, and I have some progress every day. Before, I was really skeptical about 50 cross stitches progress. If we divide 90,000 cross stitches that I have left for this project by 50 cross stitches per day, I would need extra 5 years to finish this project, which sounds like a lot. But if we look on it from another perspective, it means that in 5 years I might have it living in a drawer in the same state, or on another hand, having it on a wall, and would definitely have big relief of having it done. Okay, jokes aside, I stitch more than 50 cross stitches per day. So, with the same speed and level of dedication, I might have it done sometime next year. And it's difficult to deny one of the cross-stitching magic. As close you are to the finish, it's easier to stitch. Usually, in my case, if it's left about 20 or 10%, I stitch much faster. In such case, second or third, or how many of them are there, breeze opens, and there's lots of fun to see how it's running to the finish line. So let's hope that the second half will be much easier to stitch than the first one. So this week I almost finished this column. Bushes are almost done, and this tree on the column. So there is probably 3 colors left, and I will move these hoops to the next column. And I stitch it on the hoops for several reasons. First of all, initially I have started on a wrong rotation, on a bigger side. So I tried to move to frame it several times, but rotating cross-stitch project by 90 degrees is not the best idea, at least for me. My brain made mistakes all the time, and I had lots of wrong stitches with it. And actually, a couple months ago, I tried to another frame and put it in a right rotation on that frame, and OMG, it is so big, so it's discouraging to see how much left I have to stitch. So I did not make even a stitch and switch it back to hoops. In such case, it does not feel like so impossible. Stitch by stitch, and I have almost all the bushes here done. And in regards to hoops, this week I tried to stitch without hoops at all. You might seen it on YouTube when they stitch like sewing. And it is definitely not my type of stitching. It's more like sewing and not like stitching, in my opinion. It reminded me that time when I was very young and tried to repair a sock with a huge hole. I was not able to wear this sock anymore. And with this approach, I did not feel satisfied at all, so I'm back with my hoops. Stitching is not so fast with hoops, but definitely I like this approach more. Anyway, it's an interesting experience, and it was great to try silk thread. Now I know what it is about. It's about lots of fun. So let's finish this cross-stitching video on this positive note. Let's see if the next one will be mostly about 10 stitch. And let me know in comments if there are any topics that would be interesting to discuss. See you all!